Seabiscuit.
Manny, Nathan. How Manny?
Film editor, Luby Roy Luby.
Horse Luber, Jeff.
It has been my good fortune to own Seabiscuit, an honest horse whose big beep and physical prowess definitely place him among the thoroughbred immortals of turf history. Not just a horse, but flesh and blood and beep like you and I, with an understanding almost spiritual in quality.
Sounds just like me, other than the spiritual bit.
Mustangs, descendants of the first horses brought to this continent by Cortez.
Go forth, mob, and destroy the human world.
Make them suffer for riding us around.
We have the numbers.
Today, horses become carnivores.
Companion and servant of the Indian. Pioneer spirits turned westward, their very lives depending on the endurance of the horse. New frontiers were established, and thus began the roundup of wild creatures, horses to aid man in building an empire. In mad fury, stallions engage in combat.
Who taught those horses karate?
As man or beast, as lassos heighten about ponies, who struggle for an unfettered existence. The same indomitable spirit lives today in the fighting bronco of Wild West fame.
Headshot!
Although highly mechanized, the
Highly
army
mechanized
boasts
horse
iron
specimens.
which make up our
Robo horses?
and intelligent breeding is responsible for the amazing sulky trotters and the thrilling.
It's like, so you're playing croquet but with horses, huh? So what are you, rich people just out of ideas?
No.
We're rich because we're so smart. Yeah.
Next, we're gonna play volleyball, only with tennis rackets and a ping pong ball.
I knew it. You're dumb.
Oh no, we're smart. We'll put like feathers and stuff on the ping pong ball.
You're not making it work. You're not making it better.
Make the rackets long, but long neck, but small like hitting area.
Go stand in the corner, bud.
We'll call it badminton.
Face the wall.
Badminton.
Don't you live off to me!
Here in the horse torturing cell.
Hello.
They become sentient. Hurry.
Wait, what's that in the air? Oh my God, is Mitch McConnell a senator here?
We gotta go now.
Steady, swing on.
Hey, don't look. Help.
Give me some toilet paper at least, Jesus.
And thus the colt was born.
That came out of you?
Buzz, reassured by the nickering of its mother and the touch of gentle hand.
Oh, get your hand out of there.
Measure the same from the knees down as when full grown. Like some children, colts too need.
No, that's
coaching at
Daddy
meal
boy.
time.
That's Daddy.
And proud indeed of the baby is Hardtack, father of the colt. And even Granddaddy, Man of War.
Which one's
champion,
Man
if
of
there
War?
ever was one, takes the matter seriously and demands a bow. Thus, with such names as Hardtack and Man of War in the family, it was decided to name the little fellow Seabiscuit. Just a few
The
hours
farmer
ago,
and the horse had the
Tuck
same
enough to
size
fall
ass.
swing on his mother outside the barn for the first glimpse of a sunrise and a world full of strange things. Right from the start, he demanded extra attention, a funny little fuzz tail with gangling legs that supported a wee body.
He was weak.
Carefree hours spent romping with an alert mother whose every action denoted her great maternal pride in this awkward youngster.
Yeah, especially all the running away.
Leave me alone. Leave me alone.
With the passing of time, Seabiscuit grew stronger, and so did his appetite. He just naturally wanted to eat all the time.
Hey, you want to clean up the back door too while you're down there?
And when his little tummy got
Another shot of mayonnaise.
sleepy eyes fought against closing.
Did he fall down on a bass drum?
Life was just a bowl of cherries. Nothing much to worry about, except
The
that even
looming
the cold
threat
must be
of
all
climate
broken sooner or
change.
later, and as far as Seabiscuit was concerned, it was much sooner than he desired.
The butt rope is just for fun.
Seriously, I wonder what the purpose of that is.
Why, to give him those
Fortunately, the
poppin'
halter was
buns, of
only on for
course.
short spells, allowing him plenty of time to gaze at distant horizons, dreaming of things that only little colts think of.
Dreaming of places where they didn't call donkeys colts.
But Mother's commanding whinny brings him back to reality. Gosh, he had almost forgotten. It was mealtime again.
He finally put together that that's not Mom.
Existence for the colt was a beautiful thing.
As his
Days
short
magically
life
turning into months.
sped before his
Seabiscuit
eyes.
has grown into the weanling stage. Then tragedy strikes. All of the weanlings, including Seabiscuit, are rounded up and separated from the mares.
All the
Mothers they will
Seabiscuits.
never see again. Frantically, they dash about in another enclosure, trying to fathom the separation.
I
Frightened
almost
weanlings do
100%
not
I heard
realize
that
they have
wrong.
grown up. Seabiscuit alone crowds the rail as a handler pauses with swing on his mother.
He's doing what to his
Fearfully he
mother?
calls.
Mom,
For the first time,
no!
Mother is not by his side. Just an old mare whose eyes longingly follow the little colt of yesterday, who now stands separated from her, a man.
Did that sign say glue shoot?
Pass. Seabiscuit leaves Kentucky, bound for Aqueduct Park, New York. Consigned to his owners, the Wheatley stable.
Wait, they sent
He receives his
Seabiscuit to the
first training in
Wheaties
being
stable?
saddled from James
Oh,
Fitzsimmons,
what?
veteran
Wait,
trainer.
that's where
Time
Wheaties
is
come
spent
from?
acquainting the horse with just a light cloth. Repeatedly, handlers try it, until finally the horse becomes accustomed to the procedure.
The
and allows
procedure
himself to
of
be saddled.
having a towel on
Highly
your back?
intelligent,
Well,
Seabiscuit
it's
took
surgically
readily to his
attached.
lessons, accepting the presence of an exercise boy on his back without too much fuss. Much
Weird
easier to
seeing
handle in this respect than his
a guy in a
father's
horse in
horse
a biker jacket.
This guy just doesn't
Seabiscuit
understand the
was
greaser
prepared for the
lifestyle at
important
all.
task of conducting
Yeah, it's
himself
a
properly
pretty
at the
decent
barrier.
ride. Can you show me your
Walk
high
through,
bar
standing
horses?
still without
All right, let's take a
place
look
to
under the
come.
hood.
All
No!
for good
You're
barrier
gonna have to
manners.
pay for that, sir.
Then the final touch in his education. Breaking from the barrier for the first time, and Seabiscuit is ready for his racing career.
As he turns into a bunch of birds.
January 1935, Seabiscuit is entered in his first race, an allowance event for 2-year-olds, a distance 3/8 of a mile. Suddenly, horses leap in unison.
Some of these
and the
horses
race is
aren't
on.
too
This
fast.
is a new thrill for Seabiscuit.
Well, hey, a lot of it's the jockey's strategic kicking of the horse.
Horse and rider.
I wonder how many jockeys have been eaten by horses.
Seabiscuit answers the urging of
Horses,
Dr.
not
Stout
usually
and
carnivorous, but
ahead of him,
sometimes
flying
if it's
figures
for
still hold their
revenge.
positions. Jockey Stout attempts to pull on the outside to gain more room, but there's danger of throwing the horse off stride, and Stout holds Seabiscuit in readiness for an opening that never came. Into the stretch, it's Wahey and Wise Duke with Seabiscuit fighting it out.
Listen, I don't think this race is going to get exciting until the jockeys start shooting each other.
Seabiscuit runs forward,
That's what we need, a more Mad Max approach to this. Weld some spikes onto your horse's chassis.
Tired and excited, his first race over, but still plenty game. Meanwhile, in California, Charles S. Howard, Western racing enthusiast and breeder, was seeking a good thoroughbred for his stable, one that might be worth staking, and assisting him in his search was Tom Smith, Howard's veteran trainer.
Also known as Harry
Applications to both the
Truman.
horses were carefully checked for leads that might result in a purchase. Days on end spent at various racing meets.
Ooh,
always
Miss
seeking a
Thompson's
horse that would
undressing.
answer their rigid demands. Not too expensive, yet a thoroughbred that possessed that elusive something that makes a winner. Across the continent, Seabiscuit still carried the Wheatley
Incontinent
colors.
Seabiscuit?
Never considered
Now,
a
this should
great
be an
horse by
interesting
his
race.
owners, he was cast in the role of
Oil
breadwinner in the
slick.
overnight training
Deploy.
events and minor stakes.
My God, the
Literally a gifted
humanity.
horse who was running his
400
own
injured,
Eastern track.
27 dead.
17 times he went postward before winning a race. Still he campaigned, his great heart refusing discouragement, participating in the amazing amount of 35 events in his first season, enough races to have ruined an ordinary 2-year-old, but Seabiscuit took it and came back for more.
Does this show a dead jockey?
Ever interesting and colorful is the horse auction.
Colorful. That
Turfmen
horse
gather
is
from far and
black.
wide to swap
All the
horses
other
and
ones are
yards.
rainbow
Here,
zebras.
fine thoroughbreds are hammered down by Doc Bond, famous Kentucky auctioneer.
I feel bad
Still
for the
seeking
schlong
a horse,
displayer.
Charles Howard is an interested spectator.
Count it, me 15, legal 15, 15, 14, 14, 15 now. 15, 15, thank you.
I like how no one's talking other than him.
17, legal 17.
As you can tell, his
Plenty of
condition
horses
has
for
recently
sale,
worsened.
None that please Howard, and his search still goes on.
Ooh, metal boobs.
Saratoga, August 1930.
The metal tits got whipped out. Binoculars up.
Watch the Mohawk Claiming Stakes. A powerful bay horse is streaking thunder-like past other thoroughbreds. Both men are entranced by his style and performance. Seabiscuit almost seems to sense their eyes upon him.
He likes it when they watch.
All right, we got to stop watching him race. He became rock hard halfway through, and I think the wind drag slowed him down a bit.
He got hard halfway through and ended up pole vaulting.
Completing his examination, Howard immediately contacted the weekly stable representative, who was willing to sell, and the price agreed upon was $8,000.
So why'd you name him Seabiscuit? This old gypsy woman told us it'd have something to do with his death.
There is no question but Howard would have paid twice the purchase price. So keen was his desire to possess this great but misunderstood horse. Formalities over, Seabiscuit greets his new owner and comes under the Howard colors for the first time.
I'm Horse.
A great break.
Hi, Horse. I'm also Horse. I mean Howard.
Almost immediately, the checking over process began, allowing owner and trainer the opportunity of closely studying the horse in action. Here was championship material.
A feather in his hat, and any other place he could stuff him.
Like a lodestone, Seabiscuit drew the attention of grooms and handlers.
What were they, putting out a fire on his crotch?
To these men, Seabiscuit was no ordinary horse, and he became the focal point of an intense conditioning campaign. Important was the foot care, legs and bandage and shoes, metal-shod hoofs to grip the turf, a picture repeated over and over again.
Ow!
Feverish in its intensity, a bay-colored muscular machine literally taken apart and restyled.
What?
By the exact
I think there are some things about horse technology I was not aware of.
The rising sun of an early morning was the signal which brought Seabiscuit out for the necessary workouts, an event religiously attended by Howard and trainer Smith. Seabiscuit's every practice performance was a scene to behold.
I don't know, Jim. He's a little slow today.
I think we bought a dud there.
His is an effortless stride, a symphony of motion. He is not a big horse, standing only 15 3/4 hands tall.
How does that work out in feet?
Controllable. Tail set high and flying.
Check out the new Seabiscuit. Now getting 14 miles to the oat.
Damn, that's efficient. Here is a single oat, Horse.
14 miles, right? Right.
You know the deal.
Speed that was amazingly consistent. Highly satisfied, Howard enters the horse at Detroit for a series of races, sporting the white red and white triangle, insignia of his new owner,
The esteemed jockey Professor Pancake.
the great Azure car to win the governor's handicap, and over $4,000 for his owner. Other victories followed, including the $5,500 Scarsdale handicap at Empire City. Then westward to Bay Meadows, California. He continued his streak, winning 2 races in succession.
We
His earnings
represent
totaling over
the
$40,000.
Lollipop Guild.
At this point, owner Howard called a halt to Seabiscuit's activities. The
Kill
horse
me.
had made good with a vengeance,
Why-
and a 2-month vacation was
They don't
ordered.
treat me like this when the cameras aren't rolling.
Days devoted to satisfying his healthy appetite, a trait he possessed even as a colt. Within the short period of 4 months, this rejected horse, weeded out of a great stable, became front-page news and rose above his normal destiny to repay Mr. and Mrs.
Give me that hand.
their kindness.
I'll eat you. Ah!
King horse, with a heart that matched his owner's confidence.
Let me put my finger in your nose.
February, Santa Anita, Seabiscuit loses $100,000 by a nose to Rosemont in the handicap.
And is turned into glue. The end.
The beginning of his amazing financial march across the tracks of the United States. Seabiscuit took them all on, asking no quarter and giving none.
That's not where Jamaica is.
From train to track, covering thousands of miles, a swashbuckling animal that broke records in horses' hearts. Sport-loving fans had found an idol and backed Seabiscuit to the limit.
Those ghosts are really raking in the dough.
1937, returning millions of dollars to his legion of admirers, winning 11
The smashed
races,
together
placing
body boss from
twice,
Castlevania?
once, and boosting his earnings to over $168,000. 1938, Seabiscuit, thoroughly rested, is entered in the Santa Anita $100,000 handicap.
All he's got to do is survive
18
3
horses
minutes
are
with
set
the
to go.
buzzsaw.
Dynamite, awaiting only a detonation to set them off. Tenseness grips the crowd. All eyes watch the start. And they're off.
Oh, that wasn't the detonation you promised, narrator.
Exciting
Boo! Bait and switch.
And Seabiscuit.
Show us exploding horses, you tease.
$37,000 Santa Anita handicap. But Seabiscuit is bounced around at the start and has a lot of going to overtake the early leaders.
Sweep the leg, Seabiscuit.
Go for the eyes.
The pace is terrific on a fast track. Aneroids in the leader.
Followed by Adderall.
Hemorrhoids coming up from behind.
Followed by Prozac.
Ooh, this poor creature's name is just Horse.
Stretch, it's Seabiscuit and Stagehand. Seabiscuit lost the classic by a nose last year, and again he's challenged. Stagehand's right up there with the leader.
Oh, sweat for me, horses.
As the big colt fights off Seabiscuit's effort to pull away.
Well, now we know what he's doing.
If you love your job, you don't work a day in your life.
Within the confines of this tiny room, high above the grandstand, a piece of sensitized paper holds the answer that means $100,000 to Seabiscuit or Stagehand, and thousands more to those.
My hand!
A skilled technician, realizing the importance, attached to the still damp picture, hurriedly dries and inserts it into a container. An eternity for those who anxiously await the outcome, yet only a matter of split seconds before the picture is on its way down the slender wire. To the
Oh, well, as long as it's a slender wire.
Tensely, Mr. and Mrs. Howard await the outcome as the judges closely examine the photograph.
And the winner is a picture of Bob's wife's tits.
The winner is all of us! Hooray!
Stagehand is the winner. A minute difference, yet enough to deprive Seabiscuit for the second time the honor of winning America's richest stake. It mattered not that he carried 130 pounds to the winner's 100, or the bumping he received at the start, just one of those things which made owner Howard...
When I finally get Seabiscuit to win the crown, I'll build the rest of this fence.
And hurl the horse into another strenuous campaign, a campaign of vindication and an attack on Sunbow's great financial record of over $376,000.
I love watching horse racing on the Interocitor.
Saw him in repeated victories that brought more glory and money to owner Howard, and the cry went up, "Stop that horse!" Each race saw additional weight loaded on his back.
Don't overlay a watch.
The indicator up.
Oh, Lord, what am I looking at?
The impost.
What have I done to displease you, God?
Not only horses, but the handicappers who matched his victories with additional poundage, establishing remarkable records.
Penis tip.
Breaking
Bulb's penis tip.
Meanwhile, Howard canceled the match race between Seabiscuit and War Admiral, and reporters sought the reason.
So is it because you're a cunt? A pussy? What is it?
Is it one or two? It's gotta be one of them.
Maybe both, you cunt puss.
Huh? Huh? What is it? Huh?
Smack, smack, pal, smack, smack.
Stunner.
And pile drive.
So which is it? Huh?
We better book it, Benny. I think we killed another.
Secures Howard's promise for the second time to enter Seabiscuit in the match race. And almost immediately, War Admiral arrives at Pimlico.
Holy crap, that's what Seabiscuit's racing?
War Admiral was not overworked as a 2-year-old and sported the imposing record of 19 wins in 23 starts with earnings of $257,000. Next to arrive was the old cross-country traveler himself, Seabiscuit, fresh as a daisy, having spent most of the trip sleeping with nary a kink.
He's kind of a vanilla horse.
Carried him to the post 83 times before with earnings of over $331,000.
Not gonna see a penny of that.
And almost in every instance, Seabiscuit, when defeated, forced his opponents to break track records. With only a short time left before the match race, Howard and Smith left nothing to chance, particular attention being paid to Seabiscuit's special saddle, a unique bit of racing tack with its slotted sections.
See the slotted
to make up weight that his
sections?
jockey would lack. Finally, the big day arrives, and Howard gives his jockey, George Wolfe, a pep talk before the race. 40,000 excited spectators await the event, but there is still time to spare.
The jockey puts on his doll clothes for the match.
His mind already picturing the start. The prize is $15,000, but it means more than that to the biscuit, and Wolfe will be in there pitching.
What voice was in his head that made him whip around so fast?
Riddle, whose eyes follow his great horse, War Admiral, carrying number 1. The Biscuit.
The Biscuit!
But Mr. and Mrs. Howard know their horse, who is the picture of confidence as Wolfe heads in for the start. Both horses are jockeyed into position for the walk-up start.
My microphone has binoculars.
Radios for Graham McNamee's description of the event. Here was the race of the century, the answer to America's turf supremacy.
Which horse would rule us all?
Neck and neck for the mile and 3/16 race.
Wow, in the background, apparently they're being attacked by Godzilla.
If only they had the rights, you could pan out and we could see them.
Don't worry. In post, we can add a very similar but legally distinct Godzilla.
The person
is $15,000, and Seabiscuit will be the second biggest money winner of all time if he can keep the pace. The backstretch battle is hard on both the horses, and it's here that the Admiral makes his bid. But Seabiscuit hangs right on, matching stride for stride.
And now he is inside the other horse.
And with one clean swoop, he's got his kidney. He chews down, popping it in an instant. The other horse goes limp, spiraling and falling to the ground, breaking the tiny jockey into a million little tiny jockey pieces.
Seabiscuit is going away.
Poor little thing never stood a chance.
All right, well, let's give him a jockey's funeral. Give me a couple shoe boxes and a shovel.
Prepare the toilet.
Upset of the year. He gets across the finish with a new track record.
The grandest horse in 40 years of racing had won his greatest victory. Only 30,000.
No, I'm allergic. I'm allergic. No.
Passes Sunbow's record is something for the future to decide. But we know that when his time comes to leave this existence, he'll be breezing along like a champion down the home stretch to that paradise reserved for yesterday's greats. 20 grand, Gallon Fox.
That's right, the nursing home.
And our money and hopes.
You're going to be a therapy horse.
Rear it up and kick into demented old people in the head.
Till the day you die. God bless you, Seabiscuit. God bless you.
USA! USA! USA!
Horse the old! Horse the old! Horse the old!
Horse the... Oh, horse was a verb in that context.
Hero.